Hi, Amar. Let's take a look at this new set of essays, Technology, Man, Becoming Social. Here's what you said. Experts throughout both the developing and developed world have debated whether our social life was improved by technology. Some people believe that new advancements such as the internet and smartphones have sharpened human communication. Personally, I disagree. This essay will argue that high-tech products have made us more social. Using examples... I'm confused here. From the UK government and Oxford University demonstrate points to prove arguments. Let me show you why I'm confused. You say that some people think this. They have sharpened communication. What does that mean? Sharpened human communication. And then you say you disagree. So when I think about sharpen, I think I don't know. I assume it's something positive. And so then you say you disagree with that, and then you say that these products have made us more social. So I'm a little confused, and I think that the problem is in this word here, because it sounds more like you meant to say something like it has worsened, or has diminished, or has decreased, or something like that. So you've got a little bit of a problem here. It's creating some incoherence, but let's move on, okay? On the one hand, there is ample evidence that smartphones prevented people from getting closer. Prevented only in the past, or should you maybe refer to the present? So that they prevent people from getting closer. That's probably a better choice. The central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, people nowadays spend a tremendous amount of time using their mobile phones or laptops with hundreds of applications and programs on them, and they do not allocate enough time for social events. Secondly, people, lowercase p here, in the present time might use their phones to avoid networking with others. For example, recent empirical research by the UK government demonstrated that 90% of the population would rather use their digital gadgets in the subway than talk to the person sitting beside them. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that modern inventions may alter our sociability by blocking real face-to-face interactions. All right, so far so good. I like that. Okay, on the other hand, although there is a case for smartphones and the internet for lagging humans' connections. This is awkward here. This is not what you mean to say for lagging humans' communication. Again, you want to use some sort of other negative verb here for decreasing human connection. Now, what I would do here is I'd get rid of this apostrophe S, because when you use the apostrophe S, it's like you're saying just one humans, and that's not what you mean. So you could just use human as an adjective with no apostrophe S, and then you're fine. So for diminishing or decreasing human connection, the impact of some of their applications cannot be overstated. This is largely due to the development of audiovisual and VoIP programs. I don't know why why is this in parentheses? Types of software that enable people to make audio and video calls over the internet, which made international calls affordable. For example, a questionnaire conducted by Oxford University showed that more than 95% of its international students communicate with their family overseas using the internet. Moreover, various smartphone applications have been developed to facilitate meetings and hold. Get rid of that ing. Conferences. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that some World Wide Web applications have enriched. You want a different tense here. Have enriched networking. All right, now I want you to be a little careful here. Remember that we're talking about becoming social. Okay, so yes, but here, let's see. You talked about international students communicating with their family. So make sure you're talking about things that make us social, okay? Let's see. Other than that, it's fine. But again, you talked here about facilitating meetings and holding conferences. Is that making us social? Not entirely. Okay, is it networking? Yeah, but is it being social? Not really. It's actually just conducting business. So be careful using an example like that. It's a little off topic. And then here too, when you talk about, speaking to your family, is that really an example of being social? Maybe, maybe not. But those are the things that I want you to be careful of here, okay? All right, so just moving on. From the arguments and examples given, I believe, although there are invaluable benefits of the new applied sciences to the way we keep in touch, the role of real human connection that involves the five senses is considerably greater. It is predicted that authentic human gatherings may increasingly grow in importance. All right, now this is really confusing to me. Let me tell you why. Because, for a number of reasons. First of all, here I understood that you said that they have made us more social, okay? And even the way you develop this points to that, in other words, this is the stronger paragraph, the one that states that, this is a positive development and we're more social. And then here, the way you phrased this, you've got this as a concession. And then, in other words, that your real belief is that it's really important to, speak to each other face to face. So it's almost like you're completely negating everything you've already said. Okay, so I would have advised you to write a conclusion that really mirrors more closely what you actually developed in your body paragraphs and what you kind of said in your introduction. So it would have made more sense to say that while these new technologies have to some extent made us rather isolated and maybe introverted, there are invaluable benefits to these new applied sciences in terms of how we keep in touch. That would make sense, okay, because that's essentially what you have built your whole essay around, okay? So we want you to be careful, because what's happening here is that, number one, the conclusions you were drawing are not clear, all right, and that's going to reduce your score in task achievement, okay? Because, you finish the essay thinking, huh? Like, what's going on? And then, it's not a logical progression of paragraph. I mean, it's not a logical progression of your ideas. So be careful about that. Now I want to look at your other task, okay? Okay, so let's look at this letter to Albion. Let's see what you said here. Dear Sir, Madam, I'm writing to you to apologize for not attending the chemistry exam last week. I was extremely sick that day, and I could not make it to the school. I am defending my case with proof without the word a. Additionally, I am requesting a re-examination. My full name is Amar El Shazli, student number this and case number this. It's on the day of the chemistry exam. I woke up feeling so tired. I tried to get off the bed. You don't mean off the bed, you mean out of bed. But I was shivering and sweating horribly. Consequently, I called my dearest friend, who drove me to the city hospital. Then I was told I have a viral infection and I need to rest for at least 2 days. I have obtained a letter from the hospital to certify that I attended the ER that day. I will be grateful if you could set another examination day for me, as I need to pass the subject to attain the degree. I hope you can accept my request. Yours faithfully. Okay. Let me just double check something, even though I know the answer. Yeah, okay. It's over the word count. It felt a little short, but I figured it was over 150 words. There's a lot about this that's good, and there are a couple things that I also want to fix here, okay? So, first of all, in terms of this paragraph, I kind of feel like you got into a little too much detail. It should have just basically done a couple of different things. First of all, in other words, I'm not really happy with the way you organize your paragraphs, okay? So let me tell you what I would have liked to see here. I would have liked to see, I'm writing to you to apologize for not attending the chemistry exam last week. And then you can introduce yourself, okay? And give that information regarding your student number and your case number. So then the next paragraph would have dealt with an explanation without this whole introduction of who you are. That to me would have made better sense. And, basically this is lovely because it's explaining to you, it's giving you an outline for what the order of your paragraphs and the order of information should be. So definitely use that, okay? So that's what I would have done. And here, I wasn't really crazy about you saying I am requesting re-examination. So I really don't, I think I understand what you're trying to do. You were trying to structure your introduction the way we structure the introduction to an essay, but you didn't need to do all of this. Really, you probably just should have stuck to the apology and the identification. Okay? So, I wasn't really, really thrilled with some of the vocabulary you use. I felt like the tone of your letter was a little too conversational in certain points. Let me tell you what I mean. Like this, I woke up feeling so tired. I mean, that's the kind of thing you would, tell your parents about, your family, your friends, but to write it in a letter like this doesn't really feel very appropriate. You could have just said something else, like the day of the chemistry exam, I woke up feeling terrible, or I woke up um, feeling unwell would be nice. And then I was shivering and sweating, therefore I called my friend, etc., etc. This was fine, consequently. That's good. And then the rest was okay, and then this was okay. Now, let's talk about here. This is where the biggest problem in this letter is. Take a look at what the bullet 4 says. It says possible resolutions. Okay, so plural, more than one resolution. You only gave us one resolution. You asked for another examination day, and you didn't offer any other alternative resolutions. Now, that's going to cost you dearly in terms of your band score for task achievement, because you've not really fulfilled the bullet. Okay, you've only fulfilled half of it. So I want you to be super, super careful about this. Let's see. Now, look what you did here. This was good. You gave an explanation and possible evidence. You said that you had a letter. So here you fulfilled the requirements of the bullet. So these are the kinds of things you have to be extremely careful about. Things like this, words like and, which means that it's not enough to just cover half the bullet. You have to cover both parts of the bullet. So that's what I want you to be aware of. Be careful about it. The yours faithfully was correct since you started your letter, Dear Sir or Madam. So in many respects, this was good, but there are some things you have to be careful about in order to ensure that you'll get a good score for your task 1, okay? So go ahead, correct these, return them back to us corrected, and let's see more work from you. Good luck.